to create a new material in ArchiCad, very simple. We can be as thorough as we like, or just build it up as we go along, because there's quite a few areas that you can address. So for a start, let's just say I go to Options, Element Attributes, down to Materials. Now once I click on Materials, I'm just going to collapse that, and I'm going to duplicate any material and call it New Stone. Push OK. The first thing I have to do is see which engine that this is being rendered with. At the moment we're on the internal engine, so we might just address that. First of all, if we wanted to search for a texture, I click on the search button and then find another texture, and there's lots in the ArchiCad library under textures, but you can also find them on the web. There's millions of resources and millions of places you can actually find these. So I'm just going to use this stone at the moment. Now, so on the internal engine, this is the material that's being used, and I can also change the size of that bitmap. This is the actual size of the bitmap at the moment, and I can actually enlarge it or make it smaller. We can also zip through them just using the arrow button, but I'm going to stay there. And then the vectorial hatching, so this is how it will look in the 3D window, and in the 2D window, vectorial hatching, if I wanted to change that to another type of hatching, which might be Fieldstone 4, so that's what it would render like in the internal engine. Exposure to light, I'm not going to touch that at the moment. And if I wanted to see what it looked like with the Lightworks rendering engine, we'll notice it still has the texture from when we first copied the material. So I can just push match with an internal engine and it will turn up the same. We can go through each one of these classes. There's 5 classes there, and we can change a whole heap of things there, but I don't have enough room on this DV to go over it, and I suggest you look at the professional photo rendering DVD that's available on archicadtutorials.com, and that explains all this. But I'm just going to go back to the internal engine, exposure to light. If I want the color to be slightly different, I can also change that to, say, that color there. And once I push OK, that material will be available. Just have to find New Stone. If I push the end button, that'll take me right to it. And if I push OK, that's what it looks like in, just bring up the 3D visualization shortcut bar. That's what it'll look like in the OpenGL rendering engine. If I go to the internal rendering engine, I can push OK, and that's what it'll look like there. That was the color that we chose. If I want the vectorial hatching on, I can just turn that on as well. And there's my material. So it's basically how you create a new material in ArchiCad. And if we go to the floor plan, I'll just close this. If I actually turned on the vectorial hatching for this, I can say cover fills, and here I can just say use fill of surface material, or I can give it its own cover fill here that may be anything that I can change this to anything I like there. I'll push OK, and there's the hatching in the floor plan. This also works for elevation as well. So that's how easy it is to create a new material in